when did you notice that Keffe D had started going public doing interviews about the Tupac case?
He just slowly kind of got self-confident or something, thinking that he could get out in public and talk about it, even though he's a perpetrator. He's a criminal, and I guess he thought time went by and there was no statute of limitations. And so he just slowly started. But I think it was once he moved to Vegas, then he was there at the scene of the crime. And I think nothing happened to him, nobody arrested him. I think he got real confident, a little too big for his britches.
Were you like, what is he doing? How did you react to him, the fact that he was going public, and what did you think did you think something was going to happen as a result of it?
Dwayne, I just thought he's crazy. He doesn't know what he's doing because they're just taking notes and he's all on tape and they're going to use it against him. And you can't keep people from themselves. And that was my sense, was it was just a matter of time. But my doubt was that the police department didn't want to solve it before then. And then I made some phone calls and I found out they had him under surveillance. Here he is, what does he think? He moves from Compton to, he's a homie, he's a Crips leader, and he moves from Compton to Henderson, on the suburbs in a nice neighborhood, and tries to meld in, and his background is pretty horrible. So I think they probably would have watched him, because he was a Crips, big guy in the Crips. I forget how high he was, but he was pretty big. It was stupid. It was just, but Crips are stupid most of the time. That's why they get caught. So, and so that, he didn't have the common sense to say to himself, dude, maybe this won't work out. You keep a low profile, it doesn't matter how much time, time goes by because there's no statute of limitations on murder. They can get you any time. But they built a case against him, I'm sure, during that time while they had him under surveillance. So when they got him, they had the arrest warrant and then indicted him and charged him and whatnot. So it all went very smoothly for the police department. And I was glad, because I tried to encourage them, and part of the reason I wrote the book was because they were not solving the case intentionally. Because all the evidence is still where it was then and now. And so good on them for doing it. I got emotional, and it's something, you're a cop and you get into the business to solve crimes and put people away and to bring justice to Tupac. The saddest thing for me is that of Cathy Shakur, his mother, that she wasn't alive to see it.
Yeah, I agreed. At least, she filed that wrongful death lawsuit against Orlando back in the day. So at least It's clear we have evidence that she knew who was responsible.
Yeah, she knew it was him.
But it would have obviously been nice for her to have seen.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the current status of the case? The trial keeps getting delayed. Keffe keeps getting new lawyers and getting more trial delays. The current date is set for August of 2026.
Well, the trial was supposed to be March. It was supposed to be last year too, I think. My sense is he's going to take a plea deal. I think that usually when it doesn't go to, and they try to hesitate, he's causing the pauses. Cops are taught, my sense, but if he keeps firing his attorneys, they're not giving him what he wants. And plus, it takes a lot of money I don't know, what would it be, $500,000 to represent himself, and who's going to do it pro per? The guy's guilty as sin. So I think we're going to see a plea deal. I could be wrong, but it looks to me that all signs are pointing to everybody's kind of at the end of the boxing match where they're on the ropes. And somebody's going to go down, and I think it's going to be a plea deal. It'll save the county, it'll save the city of Las Vegas a whole lot of time. He was actually That's at the county line, so it's whether it's the city or it's the county. Of course, the police department covers all of Las Vegas. There's no city police.
The whole metro
county.
area, yeah.
Yeah, sheriff's department, and they're one and the same. They merged years ago. Yeah, it's a metropolitan area. So I think they're going to save everybody a lot of time and money, and I think he's going to plead out, and I think he'll get a lesser. But he just got, for having a fight, wasn't it having a fight? He just got...
Yeah, he's in state prison for about a year from that jailhouse
yeah,
brawl.
14 to 16 months.
Yeah.
14, so he's a little over a year. So he's got to, and it's not going to be concurrent with what he gets here. So he's not a young guy anymore. And how old is he?
He's 61, 62. He's early 60s.
Yeah, so he's early 60s right now. He's probably not getting the best food in prison. So I mean, it is a Nevada state prison, and so I would say he's never going to see the light of day if he takes a plea deal. He's going to be in prison the rest of his life.